Hi all, welcome back to more Red Storm. Uh, Dark Blue Defection, Scenario 5, Dark Blue Defection. This is my part, I think this is part 19. I had thought I would maybe add a little bit more onto part 18 there, because I think it was only maybe 30 minutes long, wasn't it? And it was just finishing off that last turn, but I think I'll just leave that now. Because we are about to start a new turn fresh, so I might as well do that. So we're just about to start turn 7, and I've just realised again my phone must not have been charging up, so give me a second. Right, okay, plugged it in now, so it'll be a little bit cumbersome for me with the cable plugged in, but I'll manage. So I just think I'll start this afresh. I've not really looked over. Well, I've still not caught up on all my videos yet. I have done quite a lot recently. So I was watching back. I think I uploaded part 13 today, and this is of course what I'm talking about, part 19. But I've decided to stick with it and watch the parts as I'm going. Now, did I not have? Hang on. Yeah, I took a couple of notes about part 13. Well, one I know. Actually, it was part 14 I started watching, and it got me thinking, and that coincides with a comment that Hal had made, and it was regarding the bombing run again, or, well, not actually the bombing run, but what led up to the bombing run, and the move that I made. Damn, this cable's not, it's pulling at the phone, sorry. Okay, I'll try and persevere. Regarding this whole, I was in this hex and I hadn't set my IP, and I was going to turn and set the IP and whatever, and I posted the question BGG, and the guy came back saying that it seemed like I had done it right. His comment then put things in my head though, because he was talking about from a two-player perspective. You would wait. You don't need to fire these until, at least I believe that's right. I don't think these are things that have to fire when they're in range. I think it's just the fact that the bot does it that way. So we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, and I thought about it more, and I thought, well, yeah, it did seem like it was right. Well, Hal's backing that up as well, saying that he feels that it was right in his eyes, that how it was done. He says, after all, you could have, after they fired, you could have moved one hex further forward rather than turning and setting your IP. Which, yes, okay, that is true. So yeah, fair enough. I suppose I could, but that on top of what the reply I got from BGG kind of got me thinking, should I maybe overridden this? And I've been thinking about it today, and then I thought, well, because if you think about it, if you're playing against, and I know we've brought this up a few times, because the bot's pretty loose in how it deals with things, it's bringing up quite a few more questions regarding this, about should you intervene here and do something different and whatever. There's never a talk of that in the rules. You know, a lot of these games in the past, if they don't have detailed AI or bot rules, they say you sometimes might want to like intervene and make change the decision and make it, choose the logical choice rather than make a stupid move. I don't think I'd read anything in this book, but again, that's not to say that you can't do it. You're playing the game solo yourself. I mean, you can do what you want, I suppose, And a lot of these guys will have not used the solo bot and have played this game two-handed, if you like. You played these scenarios. I mean, okay, these are dedicated solo scenarios, but you know what? Some of you might run them this way. Anyway, the whole point is that if there was a human opponent that could decide when they radar 888s and that SAM SA13 fired, right? and they could see a bomber up there. Now, okay, maybe they don't know what the bomber's doing. Maybe they don't know, but they can see the situation, and they can sort of say, well, okay, so if we fire now, he's not setting IP, so he's not declaring any bomb run or that. So why don't we just wait? And remember, I was in where the helicopter is right now. So I've got this round about me, that round about me, that within range. Now if I move into that hex, and by the way, my facing was towards the little the 5 dice. So if I move there, then I can fire my SAM at him, and I can fire that 2K22, and I can fire that 2K22. Okay, this 2K22 then is not in range, but he's got another 2K22 that he can use to fire. So, and then you say to yourself, what other options do we have? Does the unit have? It's still got 2 movement points left, remember? We know it's got 2 movement points left. That's not hidden information either. That's open information. So it can either move forward 1 hex, in which case we can then fire. If we want to, we might not want to. Or it could turn towards that 2K22. And by turning, it's using a movement point again, so we could then fire this is SA13 and the 2K22s. As for the inherent, I guess spend the movement. Well, hang on. It says subject to. It says any flights at lower deck altitude on the enemy side of the front that spend the movement point in the zone are automatic. When it says automatically there, I thought they were automatically fired on, but it says automatically subject to a 2K22 mobile AA attack. Resolve the attack as if the 0 hex range. However, any flight will be attacked by this inherent sheet. I'm not 100% clear. See, the fact that I've never fired, as I've not played the game 2-player, I've still never fired an AAA, a SAM, or used any AA concentrations myself. You know, none of the scenarios, and I'm starting to wonder if we're going to have the ability to do that, and it's maybe that the DBD scenarios are all just keeping it easier and not involving that. I hope that's not the case, because I would like to be able to fire a SAM at them, you know. But I've not done any of that, so part of me started wondering, do I get the choice when these things happen? And I thought, well, surely we do, but I feel like I'm reading that. I mean, the SAMs, clearly you do, because they can fire at long range, they can fire at short range. And then when I looked at the AA, just looking at mobile AA attacks, it says it can attack an enemy flight within 1 hex following the expenditure of a movement point, or immediately after the target is scattered or performed a SAM. But I mean, this is your choice. A mobile AA with its radar on may attack once per game turn during enemy movement. It can attack an enemy flight within 1 hex following the expenditure of a movement point. So it can wait. You decide as a player when that happens. So, and as we already know, these bot rules have been kept simple to, I guess it's a complex game, they've been kept simple that way, just to give you the option of playing solo. But, you know, you can see there that it's quite obvious that if you were in control of these 2K22s and that SAM, you wouldn't have fired then. You would have waited. You know that these planes have got full of bombs. I mean, I'm not sure if these are open information, you know, and I'm using the DBD ones in particular. I mean, maybe some of this information is kept secret about what kind of ordnance they have. I don't know. Again, I haven't played the full game, so, but I mean, if all this is open information, then at that time we had 8 slots left, which was going to double their strength to 16. And it's a bombing flight, it's flying up here amongst all these targets, and we know that a helicopter is going to come in. And I mean, again, this is a solo scenario, so it's all been open. Could it be that that's a secret and we're not sure what they're doing? Well, I don't think so, because I think all these units are around this area because Nikolai Krasnov's in that hex. So it's quite clear that they're trying to bomb some of the targets, is what I'm saying. So why not make it harder for them by waiting until they set their IP? And I just wonder, I don't think it should have overridden that, because it then starts saying, well, then you could override loads of other things that the bot does that is a bit loose, like I've talked about. Now, I think I briefly mentioned, what could you do? Could the bot be made tighter to be able to deal with that? Well, possibly. Possibly we can see what's happening here. So, the slam fight sets his IP, and we say, right, let's go for him now. I don't know how that could be incorporated. It might be quite tricky to do it, but anyway, I'm not going to change anything there. And you might say, well, yeah, because that would be annoying, because this wouldn't be shut down, it wouldn't be suppressed. That's because we would have missed, because we did keep track of the modifiers. Well, I say that they weren't applying there, but as soon as we turned, if they didn't fire, as soon as we turned, then all the modifiers would apply. The three modifiers, because the SAM would have fired at us, give us a possible hit, etc. Yeah, but again, it's one of these things that you could say, like I say, if the AI system was more complex, it could maybe make that a bit more fair, because that seems unfair. You can play the game there, really, can't you? You know that they've got to fire, so you can see how you could do that all the time. In fact, I might have been able to do it for my other attacks, to be honest. I might have been able to move into a position where they fired and then turned, set my IP and moved in without receiving any modifiers. Okay. Some of these things are impossible with trying to create a solo game, though. That fog of war situation is difficult to incorporate in it. Anyway. Right, so there was just that, I think. There was something else on my mind as well, wasn't there? What was it? Yeah, the only other thing was, I posted the question, because I think that's what I was maybe going to add to part 18 there. Because, I've just finished a short part last night. What was it again? Yeah, it was when John commented that he didn't feel that the 2K22, the hexes where the 2K22s were, he didn't feel like they warranted. No, I'm using the wrong word. That they counted towards having a small organic small arms barrages in their hexes. However, his comment did make it clear that he didn't feel 100% sure about that. So I went and popped a question out there. I got one response from Mike saying that he didn't see why they wouldn't use small arms barrage, because there's nothing in 14.71 to say otherwise. And it's a fair point, and I think that's why I went and posted the question, because when you read that, and it was the reading of it, all Warsaw Pact and NATO ground units, other than SAM EWR units, project a small arms flat barrage. And I think what John was trying to say was that when you look at Warsaw Pact and NATO ground units, it looks like they all mean, the ones that we fired at, the arms and these guys, these arms and mech units and whatever. Yes, I get that all them are, but where do the 2K22s, and not just the 2K22s, we've got, what is it? The NATO ones, and then you've also got these fire cans, which we've never seen yet. All these things, I think John was doubting if they were classed as ground units, but Matt, I suppose when I read that other than SAM EWR units, it talks about they are, that kind of made me think that they were all part, because I don't think John classed, I think he classed the SAM in the same boat, or well, I believe that's what he was maybe suggesting, that a SAM was just the same, but it mentions the SAM there, is what I'm trying to say. But like I say, John did feel that they shouldn't, but he did also say that he might have that totally wrong. So Mike tends to think that they should have that. I was hoping that Douglas Bush might pop his head in and maybe confirm that, or maybe just elaborate a little bit on what what's what there, so that we know for sure. But the fact that I had that one comment from Mike sort of saying that it is, I'll stick with that for now. So I'll stick with the fact that there is an organic small arms barrage in any of these AAA hexes, the 2K22s. Yeah, do you not get... No. Hang on. Yeah, no, I'm thinking about some nonsense. I'm about to start talking some nonsense, so just as well I caught myself there. Let's just move on from that. Right, so I will stick with that for now, and we'll see if any more comments come in regarding that question. Okay, we're about to start turn 7. Yes. Things are, not looking great, are they? This cable's really annoying me. It's because I think the tripod's, it's really flimsy now, and even that little cable that's attached is pulling at it. Right, I'm going to take a chance and unplug it now. And it's still got a good bit. I would say it's probably got a third charge in it still. So, okay, right, turn 7. Yeah, let's just get on with it, Grant. You've yacked on and off. Okay, so starting turn 7 with a random event phase. So, yeah, give me a sec. Right, sorry, had to go and pause there for a little bit. However, I did plug my phone in when I went, so it's got a bit more charge in it, so that's good. Right, let's get started. Random event, yeah? Yeah, turn 7, starting. Here we go. 9, oh dear. Well, we know what that is. Command confusion. Right, well, we kind of keep getting lucky with this. I wouldn't think, but I want to say the last 4 or 5 times we've rolled Warsaw Pact, haven't we? So let me just double check. 9, command confusion. Roll 1d10 again. 1 to 6. 1 to 6 Warsaw Pact. 7 to 10 NATO. For that side, flights may not initiate your combat. But remember, it doesn't apply to Warsaw Pact. So what did I say? 1 to 6, it's Warsaw Pact. So I suppose we've got a slightly better odds, right enough. But okay, here we go. 2. Okay, we're still getting lucky with that one anyway. I think that is really important there, because I'm pretty sure we position both Chevy and Vegas into a position where to go and take on a couple of their MiGs. Okay. Right, so no harm done there. Jamming phase is nothing. Detection phase, right. Right, everyone's kind of in the middle there now, isn't it? It's all in here. So nothing at deck apart from Mother, who doesn't count for this. So no modifiers. So let's check our flights first. So we have Vegas on the C column. So the Warsaw Pact, they need a 12 to detect Vegas. Rolled 11. Ooh, just missing. Okay, that's good then. And then we've got Chevy. Again, no modifiers. Needs a 12. And that's 13. Damn. Okay. So Chevy is detected. Slam's detected, Mother's detected, she doesn't count anyway. Dodge and 108 are detected. So that's all our guys, isn't it? Isn't it? Are we missing somebody? No, we've got 6 flights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Vegas didn't get. Okay, so what about their guys? We need, again, no modifiers. On the D column, we need a 13. So let's look at Markov first. 16, yes. Okay, he's kind of down there though, so maybe it wasn't quite so important. But this one I'd like to see. I'd like to see this one more than the other one, to be honest, because Vegas is sitting in there, and we're not probably bothered about Klein, so we would want to go for Wolf and Mecklin. So ideally, if we can get a detection on Mecklin. So we need the 13, no modifiers. Here we go. 11. Urgh. Well, Vegas is at high. He's at the same altitude, so he might be able to do a radar detection attempt. So that was Markov, Mecklin, Klein, and Wolf. You can see are already detected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of their flights is off map, so they've only got 4, haven't they? Yeah, so that's everybody. Right, so the flights that aren't detected that we need to still maybe look at are Vegas and Mecklin. Okay, so visual detection is at 4 hexes, but well, hang on, it's at night, so it's only 2 hexes. However, Warsaw Pact 4 hexes, but they need to have them in the front arc, and they need to have that IRST. So Vegas is clear of that. Mecklin, no, I need to have him within 2, wasn't it? I mean, that's within 4. Well, to be honest, Chevy's staring right at him as well. But he's high altitude, and Chevy's medium. Oh, that's not a look down though, is it? Yeah, that's a look up, so I think that's okay. However, I think Vegas might be the better option to check. Let me just double check visual. Where's that? Where am I looking? Yeah, Warsaw Pact at night. NATO flights at night need to be in range 2. So that's not any good for visual detection. Right, now radar, however. Radar search. Well, again, Vegas, nobody's going to be able to... None of these are going to be able to detect Vegas because they've not got it in their front arc. In fact, there's none of the Warsaw Pact flights got Vegas in their front arc. However, Mecklin, right, Vegas has him in his front arc, and he's at the same altitude. They're both at high, so their radar is a range of 12. Ideally greater than less than 10, or we get that modifier, which we're only talking 1, 2, 3, 5 hexes. Let me just double check I'm not getting this wrong though. Needs to be in the forward arc within range. It needs to be a non-disordered radar equipped flight. Look down may prohibit. So although I said like Chevy could look at him as well, because he's in his front arc, he's at medium, he's at high. So, right, what is I'm looking for here to make the search attempt? Yeah, row in the appropriate column. So yeah, I think either of them could do it because he's not looking down, he's looking up. I think we came across this already. I think it was one of the Warsaw Pact flights was able to make an attack when they were looking up, weren't they, rather than track well scan. We don't have any of that, do we? No look down. Right, okay, so I can roll for this. So I'm going to use Vegas. So the F4 column needs a 12 or greater. Standoff, spot jamming. Yeah, no, that only applies to EWR. What am I? Yeah, there is modifiers, yeah. So I'll just bring them up here. What are they again? That's the bottom ones there. So range to target, well, he's not 10 hexes away, so he's not going to get that modifier. Yeah, see, he would get a -1 if we did use Chevy because of the altitude difference. So we're at the same altitude, not a deck. Search and flight and B mark of target. No. Search and flight and B mark of target. I don't want that one anyway. No, because his rear arc comes right down there. So we are in his rear. Yeah. So obviously if we'd been over this side somewhere, we'd be in his beam and get that -2. So no, so we don't have any modifiers, and we need a 12 or greater. Right, I'm going to show you this roll. Just, I mean, to be honest, I should have maybe shown the detection roll as well. I know you trust me, but it makes it look better. It's more exciting for some of these rolls, because this is quite important, because I think we want this to be able to, pretty sure we want to have a go at him. Okay, so on the F4 column, so we need a 12 or greater. Here we go. Ah, there we go, 17. Yeah, probably saying, yeah, you took about 2 or 3 takes to get that, Grant, didn't you? Not at all, not at all. You wouldn't catch me up to any of that nonsense. Right, so we do get Mechlin with a radar search. Okay, so now that we, like I say, we don't really want to bother going for Klein. So now Chevy could go for Wolf, who's at medium altitude, and Vegas could go for Mechlin, who's at high altitude. They're both at high altitude. However, again, this could depend on who gets to go first. So a big important initiative roll here. Well, that's detection attempts finished. So it is movement. So 1 to 6, it's going to be NATO. I should have just left things over here, because we want to see this die roll as well, Grant. 1 to 6, it's NATO. That's what we want. That's a 4. Look at that. Okay. So now all we need to do is draw, well, a 2 chip is ideally what I want, and then I'll be able to do exactly that. Activate both these flights. Right, I can't really show you. I mean, I could be looking into the cup right now. Come on, yeah, you know. There's no, oh, I could try and do it like that, and then, no, come on. You've got to have some trust in me, guys. Right, here we go. I'm going to go for that one there. What is it? Was it 2 in the small? Okay. It's like, Grant, you're just making all this up. 4 in the large, 2 in the small, exactly what we wanted. Okay. I think so. I think we maybe well just do this, because we've got to try and stop this threat of the fighters getting up there. Now, I want to say both Chevy and Vegas have BVR. Yeah, it was only Dodge that had the issues. So they both have BVR. Now, yeah, Chevy looks poised better for taking on Mechlin, doesn't he? But then there's an altitude difference, Grant. Just as in, to get, you want that front arc bonus if you're going for BVR, don't you? You really want that. And Vegas is not going to get any of that at all. Well, I'm pretty sure we could probably get it beam. What's high altitude? I could dash at 6. I'm pretty sure I could get around and... Well, could you not even maybe get up? I don't think so. I think the turn situation's the problem. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, free turn, 5, free turn, no, 5, and then do a turn of 60 degrees, 30, 60. Actually, does that not work? Maybe. I think I maybe just spotted that right away. Hang on. Yeah, so if I set dash throttle, meant for speed of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, free 30 degree turn. 5, and then do a 60 degree turn. 30, 60. So that's where I'd be. Now I've got him in my front arc, and I'm in his. I'm not. I'm in his beam. His front arc goes up through the spine of the hex that we're in. Yeah, so I'm on his beam. Yeah, I don't think I can get in his front arc now. Oh, what was it? No, these are radar homing missiles, yeah. I need to keep that in mind, what John brought up recently about infrared missiles being slightly different when it comes to the BVR. No, it's just radar homing missiles we've got. Okay. I think if we're going to go for both of these, though, it probably needs to be done. It needs to be Vegas who goes for him, and Chevy. I think Chevy could probably get in his front arc. Well, let me put this. Well, I can leave that there just now. We've left that as a marker to say where the flight is, right? Or not. So he's at medium altitude. So let's just say I think it's a speed of 4 I'd be looking for here. And, well, maybe not necessarily, because he can start with a turn. So 60-degree turn would be facing there like that for one movement point, and then 2 with a free 30-degree turn puts... No, that's the same situation though. That means I'm not in his front arc. So that's not any good. So 1 movement point in there, 2 into there. Hang on, stop, Grant, stop. Right, what were you being reminded of recently about the BVR situation and the rules of engagement? Slam's going to be within 2 of Wolf. Yeah, okay, so stop there. So we are not, unless we attack from the rear, because Slam is 2 away. That's starting to make it look like could Vegas, but to get to the rear we need to be adjacent. So sorry, I'm all over the place here. I'm at 1, 2, 3. What did I say? Maybe it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I could get that actually. So if I wanted to stick with BVR, there's a snag there though, because if I do this one first, I'm sitting with Vegas in there, and then I can't BVR Mechlin because of rules of engagement. And if I do it the other way about, I'm in the same position. So you either BVR Wolf and standard air Mechlin, or the other way about, I suppose. Well, it might be better. Oh, this is like... I thought... I think I'd rather use Chevy to attack Mechlin, but I need to climb up a high altitude, and I'm thinking, well, climb an altitude band, free turn into there, then into there, then into there, then turn, then fire. I'm going to be in the same hex as Wolf though, which prevents... there's just lots of things interfering here. Right, okay, I think we're going to do this with Chevy though. Because as long as I go in that hex there, so set my speed at 4 at medium altitude. 1, 2, free turn, 3, free turn. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, so set at 4. We climb to high for our first movement point. We've got 3 left, 1 free turn, we've got 2 left, 2 free turn, and I've got 1 movement point left. And attempt BVR engagement. Now we're in his front arc because it splits that hex. We've got him in his front. He's in our front arc. We've got a range of 5. So yeah, and I've got 1 movement point left. And I think I can come up with Vegas in behind Wolf. And well, I mean, I suppose the other possibility is if I want to go for Mechlin as well after the BVR. That's possible. Right, I'm going to go with that first, so I can take that away. That's the first of my initiatives. Now he's still got 1 movement point left, and we are going to BVR. Okay, so just double checking. Defender is detected. In range of attack or undepleted weapon. Yeah, we've got BVR weapons with a range of 5 from the front, and we're 2 hexes away. It's not an infrared weapon. Rules engagement. There's no friendly flight within 3. Nope, there is not. Nearest friendly flights within 4, so we're okay there. Look down must not apply. We're both at high altitude. Doesn't apply. Attackers, defender, forward art. Yeah, all good there. So BVR. Chevy's the one with a better aggression level as well, which is a bit of a pity. I think I would have preferred that the other way about, but however, it doesn't matter. So he's a +2 to his aggression and needs a 9. I think I would have preferred to have had just the +1 on this and had the +2 on the other one, because if it's standard air at night, we know how tough that is to reach. Okay, so we need a 9. That's BVR, but we do have a +2, so right, 12. So yeah, see. Well, that's nothing I could. That was the easier way of doing it all, Grant. Okay, so this is going ahead. Right, so maneuver with BVR modifiers. We have 4 aircraft. So we are rolling on the 4 column. This is Chevy, yeah? Yeah, he's got no issues at all. And like I say, he's got +2 aggression. Yeah, okay. So on the 4 column, modifiers are nothing for that. Doesn't apply, doesn't apply, doesn't apply, doesn't apply, doesn't apply. Does apply because we're attacking from his forward arc and we're getting the aggression. So it's a +2 for that and a +2 for that. So we've got a +4. So I'm hopeful this is going to do something this time. I'd like to see a big 3 result. So on the 4 aircraft column with a +4. Oh yes, that'll do. 16 +4, 20. That's definite 3, isn't it? That's a definite 3, isn't it? Yeah, greater than equal to 17. It's 3 shot opportunities. So let's do it. Now we only get the first modifier, and unfortunately at BVR these weapons have a +0, so there's no modifier to this. We're going to take the first of our 3 possible shots without any modifiers and keep rolling high. Or not. That's nothing, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be greater than 13, Grant. Right, well, I've got to take the second shot then. Here we go. No. This is going wrong. That's nothing as well. Okay, we're taking our 3rd shot and fearing the worst for our radar homing missiles. We need something. Come on. There we go, 17. That's a shot down. Yes, it is. Good. Well, that was, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could have been better, but you know what? It could have been worse. We could have rolled rubbish there on the last one as well. Now, who are we attacking here? Mechlin. Mechlin's got a damaged aircraft already as well. We could roll and shoot that one down, couldn't we? Because that is counted, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. Right, hang on. Yeah, I mean, although the damaged aircraft doesn't apply when he's attacking, you can't use it to attack, then there's nothing to say. I mean, it is a... Yeah, because even there it says allocate result to a crippled aircraft. So if we had a crippled aircraft there, so they still have 4 aircraft. So in actual fact, if we get a 4 result here, it's going to shoot down the aircraft that's damaged. So we'd rather not have that result, and you can see that's one of the ones that has slightly better odds, as John had pointed out to us. Before we do that, we need to check for depletion. Now, our depletion number for radar home missiles for Chevy is a 3. And we've got a -2 to this because we shot three shots. So here we go, it needs to be high. And it is not. It's a 1, but that doesn't affect BVR, so that's what you don't want in air. So, well, that's Chevy done his BVR for this scenario. Let's see them going. So they still have infrared missiles and guns, though. Okay, so let's roll. Like I say, I don't think we want a high roll here. We don't want to see what aircraft gets shot down. Prefer not aircraft 4. There's a 1 again. Good. Well, that's probably aircraft 1 then, isn't it? It is indeed. Right, so aircraft 1 is shot down. So I'll mark that off of Mechlin. Okay, that's good. Now, where are we next? I think it's just on to morale, isn't it? I don't know why I have to check this, because the morale table is just right below this as well. Damage allocation, morale, I'm looking at the wrong bit. Morale markers and bailout. Okay. So again, just for himself, morale. Well, this is probably bigger than actual damage, isn't it? If you can get a disordered or abort result on this, it's huge, isn't it? Anyway, shooting down a plane helps to this because we get this modifier, which I won't forget this time. Okay, so on the BVR combat part, his aggression value is a 0. It was reduced from a +1, so he must have took a check already. That's right, isn't it? Mechlin, yeah. Doesn't apply. This one does apply to him because he had a friendly aircraft shot down. He wouldn't have been disengaging. No, he only disengaged if he's got abort or disorder. He only had a damaged aircraft. So he's getting a -1 to this roll. And to see what's happening to his morale. Oh, if it hadn't been for that 0. So a 10 -1's a 9 on the BVR. It's a bit kinder, but that's not the highest roll. So 9, yeah, he's just okay, isn't he? Still going to take a hit to his aggression, but it's 8 to 12, but that's the one you want, eh? Or worse. So a -1 to his aggression, jettison check does not matter. So his aggression's down to -1 now. Okay, and then markers. Right, sorry about the glare there. Why am I getting that all of a sudden? I think got that a bit too close, I think. That's better. Markers and bailout. Well, we do have a bailout check as well, because one aircraft shot down. Markers. Disordered abort, he's not getting that. He is getting a BVR, a void marker, and then we'll roll for bailout. I'm not going to get that chart. We know it's a 1 to 4. The pilot would be killed. Anything else apart from that, he's on his side. So here we go. 6. Okay, one of them gets away this time. I think they've lost 3 pilots. Yeah. And he that's it. Finally, he gets marked with a BVR void marker. Where are they? There we go. Back in maneuver markers. So there. Right, now we've still got 1 movement point left. That is right, we can still use that, can't we? Yeah. Oh. Why don't we go in? Why don't we go in? We can do this, can't we? Because I'd forgot about this and we've never done it before. And John had mentioned that. He said you could have done this. I mean, there's risks here, but we've spent our BVR weapons now, so we're going to have to get up close and personal anyway. Well, let's just check the rules for this then. Where am I going to find this? BVR. No. Right, give me a sec. Yeah, here we go. I had to open at the right bit. Page 17. Air and combat. It's 11.2. It's under 11.2 engagement. A flight that attempts BVR engagement on an enemy flight, regardless of the result, so may also attempt to engage that same enemy flight only in standard air-to-air combat later in the same movement phase. The BVR combat must take place before the standard air-to-air combat. Yeah, we can do this. I'm going to do this. Because we've got one movement point left. I mean, okay, we're coming in from the front on them, which is now not so good, but yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm going to move in with my last movement point. Pretty sure that's right. Feels like... Oh, you know what? There's been that many things happening in this scenario that... You know, we've learnt a lot of things that we've got wrong, and maybe in some of them not major things, but I'd like to think a lot of the things that if I played the scenario again, in fact every scenario I played, you know, I would go back and, well, that's if I could retain all the information. There's a lot in this. There is a lot. Okay, that's his last movement point. Now he's now going to declare standard air-to-air combat, so... Yeah, I mean, it does say it there. And I thought maybe the engagement had to fail, but it does say regardless of the result. And then it also talks about the BVR combat must take place before the standard air-to-air. So we have just carried out BVR combat. We had one movement point left. We've now moved in. He's the same flight that we BVR'd. Yeah, let's make it happen. Okay, so let's just check the engagement requirements for this then, just to be sure. Defender detected, not stacked yet. And remember, in BVR, they don't become undetected. It's only when you do standard. Defender within 1 hex and same altitude or 1 altitude below. He's within 1 hex and he's in the same altitude. If not in the same hex, attacker's defender and forward arc. He does indeed. Attacker has undepleted weapon. Yeah, I've got guns and I've got infrared missiles, which is probably, I'll be using infrared missiles. They're slightly better depletion wise. Attacker not disordered, aborted, or did Sam avoid anti-radar this turn? No, he's got a BVR avoid marker on him. OA or Sam attacks in current hex resolved. There's none of that needing scene 2. Yeah. Slight risk could be a scatter. We are at high altitude though. Yeah, if you scatter to medium, that might... Yeah, I'm still doing this. It seems like it was made to happen. Okay, well, yeah, I was forgetting the engagement roll here is not as clever, is it? So we're both detected, so we're looking at the 14. Now we both roll on this, remember. But if we fail, then if he succeeds, he chooses not to do it anyway. It defaults to that with the bot. So aggression value is +2. That doesn't apply. Yeah, we've got a +2. So yeah, still need to get that 14 with the +2. Oops. Right, here we go. Come on, make this happen. Oh, 19. That'll do. That'll more than do. That's overkill. I would have preferred to keep that for the next die roll, I think. Well, we've seen how many times we've failed this, so we shouldn't really knock that. Right, well, they're going to roll then, so their aggression value is just took another hat, so it's -1. Doesn't apply, doesn't apply, doesn't apply, doesn't apply. No, none of the rest applies. So he's getting a -1 and needs a 14 as well. 13, I was going to say +1. There's no +1 he's getting, it's a -1. So 13 -1 is 12, so he fails. Ooh, we're getting surprise. So the results are attacker, yes, defender, no. So attacker, surprise, defender is disadvantage. And this is going ahead. So we move into the hex. Keeping the same face in. Simple enough that time. What I'm going to do is put, because Mecklen's the MiG-23, I'm going to put his stuff on the card. Hopefully I'll not remember. And then I'll leave that just for Chevy. Yeah, and let's move over into the manoeuvre. Where are we? Manoeuvre for some standard air. Okay, so remember, Soviet doctrine doesn't apply because they're defending this time. However, we shot down an aircraft. Rolling the table using column for the number of undamaged aircraft in the flight. Well, he's only got 2 then, because he's only got 3 aircraft left, and one of them's damaged. So he is actually going to be rolling on the 2 column. Now we are rolling on the 4 column, and we've not got any issues. So let's check things. Did we climb? We did. Damn. Flight climbed this movement phase. It did not zoom climb. And I know we got that one resolved. Like I say, I think a lot of you probably would have read it in that way, and Grant was trying to say that maybe both of these would work. Anyway, I did find it written that it doesn't say it, and if it's maybe just me that sees that a bit wrongly written, then fair enough, it might just be me. So we did climb, so we're getting a -1. Now notice he's going to get a -1 for the BBR avoid marker that he's got. Nobody's marked with a manoeuvre marker though. So a -1 to us, right? The manoeuvre differentials, just glance at the cards, they're just there. We're both at high altitude. He starts on a +5, we start on a +6. So like I say, we're getting a -1 to that. So it's going to be a net 0. But come his time... No, hang on. No, that has to apply to him now as well, doesn't it? Yeah. So his is a -1 and ours is a -1, isn't it? Yeah. So we're at a 5 and he's at a 4. So we do have a +1 to that manoeuvre differential. We do have a +1. He will have a -1. Aggression differential. We're at +2. He's at -1. That's a +3 there. So that's +1, +3. That's a +4. Geometry, no. We're both coming head on, so geometry is not going to apply. Enemy flight disorder, no. Flight has surprise, yes, indeedy. So that's an +3, that's a +7. Doesn't apply. I don't think he would disengage. Combat at night at -3 takes us down to a +4 again. Just let me double check the conditions for disengaging. Bot flights attempt to disengage if disordered or aborted. Yeah, I thought it was only day 2. So he's not going to be concerned about, other things. So +4 for this, and we're rolling on the 4 column. So this looks pretty good. Here we go. The dice could spoil it all though. So with a +4. Oh, you had to open your mouth, Grant. That's a result of 10. That's going to be just 1. 10 on the 4 column. We've got 1. That should have been so much better, shouldn't it? Yeah, that's right though, I think. Had 4 aircraft. Yeah, okay, so 1 shot opportunity we've got. Yeah, what do I generally do with this? I do this right up to morale, don't I? Yeah. I generally, I do damage, shot resolution, yeah, depletion, and then damage allocation. Right. Okay, so we've got 1 shot. Okay, so we're going to use our infrared missiles. They've got a +2 and a 3 depletion number. So we get a +2 for that. And we've still got guns, so we can add another +1. So we're going to get a +3 on this. We've only got 1 shot, and ideally we're looking for 16 to 19. So with a +3, 9 +3 is 12. Oh, it's nothing, isn't it? You should know that one by now, wouldn't it? Yeah. Damn. So nothing. Well, we've still got morale, maybe. Okay, so... well, depletion's not... We're not going to deplete. Because we only took 1 shot. Oh, no, you still roll for this, Grant. Of course. Yeah, what are you talking about? It's just I have no modifiers. Yeah, so I'll check for depletion. And we need... it's a 3. 6. Okay, that's good. Our weapons are good. Okay, so we got nothing out of that. So it's over to him now. So let's see what he's got. So remember, he's getting a -1 for that. He's going to get a -3 for that. So yeah, so he's on a -4. That gives nothing. That doesn't apply. That doesn't apply. He's disadvantaged, so he's getting another -1. That's -5. And then his combat at night is a so he's a -8. And he's got 2 aircraft that are, yeah, he's got 2 aircraft. So with a -8, yeah, that's a whole lot of nothing. So no shot opportunities for him. No need to check for depletion, etc. So yeah, it's over to morale then. Okay, so we'll check our flight first, Chevy. On the air column this time. This can be brutal. So aggression value +2. We had surprise +3. Doesn't apply. Doesn't apply. Yeah. So it's just a +3. So we want this one high. Look. 9, that's not high enough. 9 +3 is 12. What are we getting? Yeah, it's disordered. Damn. Yeah, the 9 to 14 row there is a -1, he's aggression, and he's disordered. And that was the danger, really, wasn't it? -1 is aggression, takes him down to +1 aggression. And we'll get a disorder marker ready for him. Sorry. Right. Okay, not so good. Right, and for them, aggression is -1. They were disadvantaged, so they're getting a -2 to this roll. So the odds are worse for them, but you never know, huh? Well, -2. Oh. Seriously. 17 -2 is 15. I think that's going to be okay. It's a -1 to his aggression, but it's just a jettison check. That didn't go well, so that backfired a little bit, really. So he's down to -2 his aggression, but he's still in the game. We're disordered. So that's not good. Right, so scatter. Oh, I say scatter and then markers. Let me just double check. Morale. So scatter, markers, bail out, mark fuel. Right. So let's do scatter then. Right, us first. We are facing the spine. We're on this one, and we'd rather not have an odd die roll. I mean, we're at high altitude, but we also could scatter into an air-to-air AA barrage zone here. So let's hope we don't do that as well. Okay, keep it even. 1. Oh, that's right. It's the right way. I'm looking at it thinking that's to the left. Right, so we are going to drop an altitude band, and we're going to just go directly left. Oh, you can see I was looking at it there thinking, because he's upside down, I'm thinking, right, which is left and which is right. So obviously that's to his right, and that's to his left, which that would have been into the barrage zone. So yeah, that is Chevy. So he's going to drop to medium and scatter into that hex, and then also become undetected. However, while I'm there, he's also going to have a manoeuvre marker on him, and worse, a disordered marker. So Mecklin's staring at the side of the hex, so he's using the other scatter pattern. It's 1 dice. 2, so he's not dropping altitude. Rolls even, and he's moving down to the left. So that's that hex there. He's turning, facing down to the left, and becoming undetected. He's getting a manoeuvre marker, and you know what? I will just keep them on the card. He's got a BVR void marker, and he's at high altitude still. And then markers. Yeah, we've done all the markers. Manoeuvre markers and disordered. Oh, remove any acquisition. BVR avoid, SAM avoid. So he removes that BVR avoid marker. This is where I did look at that then. So that comes off him, so he's not got that anymore. Yeah, I remember John mentioning that before as well. Remove any acquisition. Yeah, that was the other one that's talked about. Not that that's relevant here, but John had pointed out that the acquisition markers would come off in this situation. BVR avoid, SAM avoid, anti-radar tactics, or zoom climb markers. Flip counters to the undetected side. Roll for bailouts. Well, no aircraft was shot down. And then mark off a fuel point for each aircraft. So that was Mechlin. Loses one more. And Chevy, who's now... Yeah, that backfired a little, didn't it? Oh well, okay. Yeah, we got an alright result in the BVR as well. I should have maybe just settled with that. It was too tempting, wasn't it, being able to do that, I think. Right, okay, well, I might as well push on and do the other move I was going to make then, wasn't it? That was a Vegas attack and move. Yeah, well, actually we can't go for Mechlin now because he's undetected. Well, let's just do that. Let's do what we're going to do. So I'm going to attack Vegas and oh, wait a minute. I could actually still BVR him, couldn't I? Couldn't I? Yeah, because if I'm attacking him from the rear, is it the rear? No shot of friendly fight within 3 hexes of target. Attacker and defender's rear arm. No shots of friendly fight within 1 hex of target. So I could... Well, you've seen how I came out of that. Well, hang on a minute. I could do exactly the same as I've just done. Why don't I just go nuts and do this and yeah, and have all your flights disordered grant? Well, I surely can't get the same work as I go. Yeah, right. Yes, you can. It's just the fact that Mekon came out of that as well with that. The morale roll at the end was just. But that's it. Die rolls are die rolls, eh? And Markov's still, though he's a good bit away from the action, he's just waiting to do something. Right, okay. No, hang on. I need to be adjacent to BVR anyway because I'm attacking from the rear. Right, I need to drop an altitude band as well. Well, hang on. Yeah, no, I need to BVR from the rear or the rules of engagement aren't going to work. Right, dash throttle. Dash throttle, 6 speed at high altitude. So I think I'll just leave that other marker there just now. 1, 2, no, hang on. 1, free turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, free turn. 6. Yeah, so to be honest, no matter what I'm going to do, I could change my... No, hang on. Yeah. No, that's right. So hang on, I've not got movement points left though. If I had BVR there, can I still declare air-to-air combat after that? I don't think so. I think I need to spend another movement point. Yeah, here we go. A flight may not attempt to engage in standard air combat unless it has moved at least 1 hex or changed altitude in the movement phase. Well, I would have done that though. Nah, I'm not sure. So I'll leave that question there, and I'm not going to take this on because I'm not 100% sure, and just to keep things moving. Could I have done exactly what I've done with that other flight? BVR combat here. Remember, I have no movement points left, whereas I did the last one. I had 1 movement point left. Admittedly, I had to move adjacent anyway. But the fact I'm already adjacent, could I engage in BVR combat here, resolve all the combat, if there was one, and then declare standard air-to-air combat on the same target also? A flight may not attempt to engage in standard air-to-air combat unless it has moved at least 1 hex or changed altitude in the movement phase. I don't know, the way I'm reading that, it feels like I maybe could do it, but I'm not so sure if it's... Because, I mean, I have moved in the movement phase. So, oh yeah, one of the points... one of my movement points... I would have freely descended to medium altitude, is what I'm trying to say. Right, I'm going to put this on Vegas... it's over there, isn't it? Well, I suppose I will, because it's going to be cluttered in there. Yeah, so I'm going to put his dash marker and the fact he's at medium altitude. Remember, I dropped him an altitude band because, well, Wolf is at medium, so. Right, so I think I'm going to say that I'm maybe not able to do both of them. So, you know what, I'll just do the BVR then. We'll just do the BVR, because I think it's a bit silly to risk disorder, and the fact that we've got Chevy disorder now to risk Vegas. and he could remember, Wolf's going to have to do a morale check with BVR, so we'll maybe get lucky with the die roll there. So let's do BVR, but let me know, John or anybody else, if after this, because I've not got any movement points left, could I still have engaged in air-to-air? I won't do it, but because I'm not feeling confident about that one. So, right. Okay, so back here again, just checking defender detected, not stacked. No, we're at the wrong one. Sorry, defender detected in range. Yeah, this is Vegas. He's still got BVR, and he's got BVR weapons at range 1 from the rear, which is where he's at. It's not infrared. The rules engagement, like I said, just glance up there. Because he's in the rear, he's attacking from the rear, I can have no friendly flight within 1 hex of Wolf. So we're okay. Whereas there's friendly flights within 3. So if I was attacking him from any other arc rather than the rear arc, I wouldn't be able to do it. That's what, that's what that says there, basically. Okay, so we're okay for that. Look down must not apply. Yeah, we're both at medium altitude because we do have look down issues. And attackers, defender, and forward arc. Okay. Modifiers. For Vegas, he's only got a +1. Remember, this is just BVR, so it's just that one that applies. But we only need a die roll of 9. So with a +1. Oh, just. I was like, oh no, that's not good. So 8, but with the +1, gives us the 9 that we needed. Ooh, that wouldn't have been nice. That wouldn't have been nice at all. Okay, so it's going to happen. Right, and then on the BVR side, we've got 4 aircraft again for Vegas flight. So, quick rundown. The modifiers doesn't apply. No, no, no. Yes. And this is where the one that John pointed out, look, if it had been infrared missiles, this wouldn't have counted. We wouldn't have got any modifiers. However, we are getting that -2 this time. No, we are getting aggression, a +1, so we're getting a -1 on this. So not the best, but we are on the 4 aircraft column, so as long as it's high. So with a -1, here we go. Oh, that's rubbish, isn't it? 9, 10, -1's 9. Oh. Yeah, the -1 just had us there. Even with a 10, we would have got a one-shot result. No. Yeah, we would have, yeah. 10, -1. I do have that right, don't I? Try to find a way out here. No, you're not getting a grant. So, no shot. Oh, does that mean he doesn't take a morale check? I think it does, yeah. I always kind of struggle with this a little bit. So no shot opportunities means if no shot, skip to G. Yeah, so we skip right past morale, and this is the pointless skip to G bit where the checks mark it. Well, until somebody tells me otherwise. So nothing more happens. And now I'm wanting to maybe know if I could standard air because of that. You know what? I could go and ask a question, maybe. Well, you know what? We're at an hour and 14 minutes. Yeah, I could copy this part across. Ask a question. Yeah, but if you're going to record more footage, what are you going to do, Grant? You're going to move on, aren't you? So I'd have to get a quick answer, wouldn't I? Do you really want to do it, though? Just we've done nothing to him. We never even got a morale check on him. And remember, standard area, it's tricky to get engaged in, so... Yeah. Give me a sec. Okay, I've popped the question out there, actually, just to see. And what I'll do is, I think I'll cut this part now, because it's long enough anyway. And although I marked this, if I happen to get an answer back, because I might be able to take a little break just now. But even by the time I've got this copied across and get the phone back, that does take us 10 or 15 minutes. And you never know if somebody's hovering about. If it's the right time, I might catch somebody and get an answer quickly. And then we can maybe still continue that attack then. I might still think about it. Even if I can do it, I might not do it, but I might, and then that'll mean he's not quite finished yet. But I will leave the marker still on him. Yeah, it's cute. I'd be curious to know as well, just for the future. Yeah, okay. Right, I'll leave things for now, and yeah, I'm hoping to get another part, but what I could do is I could go away and for a bit just now and come back later maybe. Although that might mean I've had a couple of beers. I'm not up early tomorrow, so I'm working, but not till late afternoon. So there's the risk of that as well. Okay, well, I'll be back soon. Okay, cheers.